UFC 328, Strickland vs. CHIMAEV just went down, and I'm going to give you my recap over the entire card. We're back, baby! We are so back! Oh my gosh, what did I tell you? You just had to have faith. We were gonna go on a run eventually, and we're here. We went 11-2 this week. Not too shabby. Buck got exposed, cannot wrestle, and Jim Miller still got it. Those are the two. We'll just get right into it. Early prelim opener. We had Clayton Carpenter versus Jose Ochoa. I do have to say, Clayton Carpenter surprised me. You know, I thought he was going to be the type to just shell up once he started taking a beating and quit. He did not do that. He stuck in there. He fought back the entire time. But Ochoa, he was just better. You know, he pretty well put belt to ass on the feet. You know, on the ground, Carpenter was getting like heel hook positions. Ochoa was finding his way to slip out of those. And then Carpenter had his back a couple of times. Ochoa, he got too high. Ochoa kind of shook him off. Ended up just getting it back to the feet where he continued to piece him up. And Jose Ochoa got this one done. Next up the card, we had Basingir Sursikayev versus Jordan Santos. I had Sursikayev winning this. He came out very cocky though, and it started to look like Santos was gonna have a chance at winning this fight by TKO probably. Like he did start to connect on some big shots. Sursikayev's eye was getting real red. His nose was busted up. But he ended up coming back second and third. He got the submission in the third. I believe it was by a rear naked choke, but I cannot remember to tell you the truth. A lot of stuff happened on this card, okay? Cut me some slack. But Sursikayev got this one done. You know, once he stopped showboating, I guess you could say. They weren't quite emotes. He wasn't quite showboating, but he was definitely in there not fully fighting. You know, he wasn't locked in on fighting. But once he started to lock in on fighting, he got it done. Got it done by sub. Next up the card, Hoofda. This one was kind of rough to watch. I must be honest with you guys. We had Pat Sabatini versus William Gomi. Sabatini got this one done exactly the way I said he was going to. He pretty well just wrestle fucked William Gomi in this fight. There's really not much else to it. You know, he took him down, but then Gomi would just pop right back up. So Sabatini kind of just held him up against the fence. You know, controlled him in the fence. He was landing a couple of big shots on the feet, but Gomi was faster and more technical on the feet, so he was kind of getting pieced up when he wasn't just holding on. But I'm not angry with this decision. A lot of control time, but I do think he won this fight. Next up, we had Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. I thought Kopylov got this one done. He was kind of a sketchy pick, you know, once he was getting backed up, and if you started backing him up to the fence and started kind of throwing shots to the fence in combination, he would kind of shell up and take a beating there for a while. But that didn't happen in this fight. This guy he has negative fight IQ. I'm not trying to say this was just an absolute great performance or anything. He should have gotten the finish in the second, but he decided to hug Tulio, not throw punches. You know, fine, whatever. Maybe you didn't want to gas yourself out. Take him to the third. He should have gotten the finish early in the third, but then he decided to grapple and let Tulio wake himself back up, get back into that fight. Tulio won the first, and then he could have won the third. There is potential, But I think Kopylov did enough to win the second and the third. Yeah, I mean, Tulio, like the commentary was saying, in this fight, he would throw some punches and then back up with his chin all the way up in the air. He was not tucking that thing at all. So someone who's, I just don't really know. Kopylov's fast. Maybe he just doesn't really have the right timing, I guess. Because he should have put Tulio out. But he didn't. He won the decision. Next up the card, we have the first loss of the night. We had Jim Miller fighting Jared Gordon. Jared Gordon also has negative fight IQ. Jim Miller won by sub that Jared Gordon put himself into. That's about all there is to it. Miller looked good on feet, but Gordon looked like shit on the feet. So, is this something where Jim Miller still got it, or is Jared Gordon just that bad? Tough to say. I feel like Jim Miller might still have it. His loss to Bobby Green is aging all right. So you never really know. But yeah, he's wanting to get 50 fights in the UFC. I'm not sure how many he has. But he's racing a time clock for sure on that goal. He got this one done though. Good job, Jim Miller. Next up the card, we had solid. This entire card was solid fights. This was a great card. We had Grant Dawson versus Matus Rebecki. Grant Dawson got this one done. He looked very, very good in the first round. Not very, very good. He looked good in the first round. And then in the second, he got dropped bad. Like, just head spun, dumped. He was able to survive, though. He ended up kind of working back into a, I want to say it was like a double leg. It might have just been a single leg takedown. But yeah, I mean, Rebecki, he looked tiny in there. He is a very short guy. I did not realize how small Rebecki was. Dawson, once he got it to the ground, it was game over for Rebecki, really. I mean, he just controlled him the entire time. Third round, Rebecki came out and I think he shot a takedown, and Dawson reversed it and ended up taking his back and getting the rear naked choke. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Rebecki shot a takedown. Dawson scrambled, reversed it, got his back, and then got the rear naked choke. Got the sub in the third, right at the very end of the fight. If he didn't get this sub, he was definitely going to win on the scorecards. In my opinion, I think he won the first and the third very clearly. But he got the sub, so he didn't need the scorecards. Good job, Grant Dawson. Next up the card, we had Yoel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov. I told you guys, this guy is a stud. He's a little old, for sure. He is a little old, but he is a elite grappler. He has great wrestling, great jiu-jitsu, great submissions. He does have hands. He is solid on the feet. Alvarez just, he's a small welterweight. He's tall. Here's the thing about Alvarez. He's got a weird body type, He's about 6'2", 6'3", but he's skinny. Realistically, he should be cutting to 155. But when he's fighting at 155, he's just so gangly and unbalanced. Like, he has to fight at welterweight, but he's too skinny to fight at welterweight. So he really needs to bulk up, put some muscle on to do good in this weight class. But I think he could. I do think Alvarez has a shot at doing all right. But Amosov is just a beast when it comes to grappling. Yeah, I mean, he ended up getting the arm triangle in this fight. The final takedown he got, he just picked up Alvarez and just little brothered him. Or I guess big brothered him, you would say. But yeah, it just belt to ass in the grappling on this one. So throughout the card, great showing of mixed martial arts. Yaroslav Amosov got this one done. Feature fight of the prelims. We had Ateba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. Ateba got the TKO round 2. Yeah, I mean, he is a super powerful guy. Very, very powerful guy. He called out Izzy after his fight. It's a decent call out, I guess, if you're looking at the trajectory of the, matchmaking for Ateba Gautier. Someone on a 4 or 5 fight losing streak would probably be the next best bet for him. So I do see him maybe getting that fight, but I don't think he should. I think they should actually give him someone who's like a test. Izzy's. I don't think Izzy should fight this guy. I think he's going to sleep. But not much to say in this fight. Ateba pretty well dominated on the feet, and finally found the KO shot. Kind of just a looping overhand right, punching down. He put Ozzy down and followed it up, and then the ref pulled him off. Ozzy contested the decision or the stoppage a little bit, but I'm not too angry at the stoppage. Ozzy, you should probably make a trip to Turkey though. That hairline there is screaming for help. But Ateba got this one done. On to the main card. We had Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. Bobby looked great. He looked very solid in this fight. Stephens was just throwing bombs. That's really all he was doing. He was trying to find a knockout shot. He took his gloves off. I think he might have retired after this fight, but there wasn't anything said by Rogan that I heard. But yeah, I mean, Bobby dominated this entire fight. He looked good. He looked very solid. He's asking for a bonus, so we'll see if he gets it. There were some other very, very solid fights that I think get fight of the night and performance of the night that beat him, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Bobby got this one done. Big ups to him. Next up the card. We had the second and final loss of my predictions. We had Sean Brady versus Joaquin Buckley. I thought Buck was going to be able to find his chin. He wasn't. I guess I can't be too mad about it. We had to watch this so we could get the co-main and main event outcomes. We'll look at it this way. Buckley, thank you for being the sacrificial lamb for us. You really took one for the team there. We do appreciate it. Learn how to wrestle, though, big guy. Learn how to get up from bottom. That's the main thing. He did look good. Early in the fight, he was stuffing some takedowns. And then he got taken down, and he wasn't able to do anything. Sean Brady wrestle-fucked him for the entire fight and got this one done. Next up, we have the feature fight. We had Alexander Volkov versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I had Volkov winning this fight. You know, I thought he won the first and second pretty clearly. I thought the third was very close. I wouldn't be angry if you gave the third round to Acosta, but I do not think he won this fight. I'm seeing a lot of people say, not a lot of people, but I am seeing people say, oh, robbery, robbery. I don't see that. I think Volkov won. I think he outstruck him. Yeah, I mean, just look at the numbers here. We have 88-54, 33-15, 34-22. Round 3 is the close one, 21-17, but he outstruck him in that round. So 30-27 even. But I think 29-28 to Volkov is the correct decision. I really do think he won this fight. It was a solid fight. He was hammering leg kicks. I mean, just hammering leg kicks. Acosta just couldn't find his range. He was winging big shots and coming very, very close. But Volkov has a hell of a chin, because he did eat a couple of those big shots. But Volkov has a hell of a chin. We'll talk about chins in a second. We're getting to that. Don't you worry. But, yeah, Acosta just couldn't find his range. Couldn't really get going until the third, and then it was too little too late, pretty much. So that's really all there is to it. Volkov got this one done. He called for a title shot. I don't think they're going to give him a title shot, but they could. I mean, he has beaten a lot of the top contenders, so we'll see. Oh, baby. Oh, baby, oh, baby. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I told you Josh Van was going to stuff the takedowns, get up when he got taken down, piece him up on the feet, and TKO him in the later rounds. What happened? Go ahead, you can comment down below. You can say, I'm sorry, Wheezy. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I did not realize you were actually from the future and you know the outcomes of the fights. You know, I had to test you guys. I had to test you guys a little while for that little bit of a slump I was in. You know, we were going 8-5, you know, 7-6, 7-5. Didn't have the best record there for a little while. You stuck with me though. Now look at us. Now look at us. We're winning the fights that matter. That's what truly matters. Josh Van got this one done. Tatsuro Taira is a stud. This guy's chin is made of vibranium or something. I don't know where this guy was made. I don't know where they pulled him out of. I don't know if he has nuclear radiation, like a buff from it or something. I don't know if he's one of the super mutants from Fallout. I don't know. But this guy would not go to sleep. He just refused. There was a point where Josh Van had his back and was choking him out, and he just didn't, unfazed. Just got back up, kept getting punched in the face. Tyra was doing a very good job. He was getting the takedowns, but Van would immediately, so Tyra would get the takedown and then get into a mount almost immediately. And then Van would get his butterflies and then, kick off, get space, get up. There was a couple of times where it looked like Tyra was thinking about going for an anaconda or a Darce choke. It didn't. It never came to a fruition. But yeah, Josh Van got this one done. 5th round TKO, exactly like I fucking said. Sometimes you just gotta listen to the guy on the internet. Live and learn. Live and learn, I guess. Live and learn. Next up, we got the main event of the evening. We had Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. What did I tell you? What did I tell you was going to happen? Sean Strickland stuffed the takedowns. I had Strickland winning 2, 3, and 5. First round went to Chimaev, for sure. That takedown immediately, all that control time. First round definitely went to Chimaev. Second round, I thought Chimaev gassed out. Honestly, I thought it, like the commentary was saying, it was probably just an adrenaline dump, and then he kind of caught a second wind. But I thought, oh man, this is bad. Even at the beginning of the second round, he looked bad, and then Sean ended up stuffing his takedown, getting a takedown of his own. Just controlled him the entire second round. And then, midway through the third, Chimaev started to kind of catch a second wind. Like I said earlier, he started to kind of open up a little bit, but I think Strickland did enough in that third round to win. I think Chimaev got a takedown at the very end of the third round, but didn't do anything with it. That's kind of the thing about this fight. If Chimaev would have done damage, he would have won this fight. But in the takedowns, when he was controlling Sean, he didn't do any damage. He was just holding on. He didn't. In the first round, he was going for trying to get a rear naked choke. It was never really close to happening. One time, maybe it was like, oh, but it didn't happen, obviously. And then from that point on, he wasn't going for subs. He wasn't ground and pounding. He wasn't doing anything. And Strickland did more. He did more on the feet. He outstruck Chimaev. Look at the numbers: 160 to 137. Round 1, 17 to 12. Most of these were ground strikes also. In the first round, like I said, he went for a submission and he was ground and pounding. He was doing what you're supposed to do on top position. Round 2, Strickland got the takedown, or reversed the position, ended up on top, ground and pound. Round 3, Strickland outstruck him. Round 4, Chimaev outstruck Strickland. And then round 5, Strickland outstruck Chimaev. I had 2, 3, and 5 going Strickland. I really do. I hate to say it, but Sue, you should not be a judge no more. You know what I mean? I don't see this fight going to Chimaev. I don't know why it was a split decision. Maybe just to build up a rematch in the future. But Chimaev's wanting to move up to light heavyweight. The weight cut looked very, very, very rough on him this time. This go around was very tough in the weight cutting department for Chimaev's team. I mean, that weigh-in looked rough. He didn't make weight. The scale was bouncing. Strickland is a stud. There's low key now. He is gonna be in talks of middleweight GOAT. Beat Adesanya. Beat Chimaev. Beat Fluffy. Beat Imavov. I mean, he's lost to Driscus twice. Pereira, Cannonier, Usman. And then he got knocked out by Eliza dos Santos or some fucking Brazilian fella. At 170, I believe. So, I mean, Strickland is one of the best middleweights to ever be on the UFC roster, in my opinion. This guy is a great, great fighter. And he did the job. Got it done. 2-time middleweight champ. No one can take that away from him. That was the video. That was my recap over UFC 328. Thank you for watching. This has been Wheezy MMA. I'm Wheezy, and I'm out. Have a good one.